Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most remarkable stories in the world of coin collecting, an event that has shocked many and continues to echo throughout the annals of numismatics. It's a story about the 1981 D quarter dollar, a coin that many thought would simply be another piece of pocket change, but instead, it turned into one of the most valuable coins in American history. We are going to talk about how this quarter, initially overlooked and underappreciated, ended up being worth $234 million, an astronomical figure that has forever changed the way people think about rare coins. Let's start with the basics. The 1981 D quarter dollar was originally minted in Denver, Colorado, as part of the United States Mint's regular series of quarters. It was intended to be used for everyday transactions, just like any other quarter issued by the US government. However, what makes this particular coin so special is that it became the subject of an extraordinary discovery that few could have predicted. Coin collectors and experts alike were taken by surprise when this coin, which was believed to be one of millions produced, was found to be something entirely different, something incredibly rare and valuable. It all started when a collector, while sifting through boxes of change, came across a single 1981 D quarter dollar that stood out. The collector was immediately struck by the unusual characteristics of this coin, which, at first glance, seemed to be like any other. However, upon closer inspection, it became clear that there was something wrong with it. It wasn't the typical quarter that one would expect to find. The details on the coin appeared slightly different, and the more the collector examined it, the more they realized something extraordinary had occurred during the minting process. At first, it was thought to be an error coin, which in itself is not an uncommon occurrence in the world of numismatics. Errors in the minting process happen from time to time, leading to coins with unique characteristics that set them apart from the rest. These error coins can range in value from being worth only a few extra dollars to becoming highly prized collector's items worth thousands, if not millions, of dollars. What made this 1981 D quarter dollar stand out was that the error was unlike anything seen before. It wasn't just a minor flaw, but rather a major mistake, one that no one had ever seen in a quarter before. As experts began to examine the coin more closely, it became apparent that it wasn't a simple mistake in the minting process. The coin had characteristics that didn't belong in a typical 1981 D quarter. It was as if the coin had somehow been struck with a completely different set of dies, causing it to have a blend of features that were not normally found in quarters of that year. The reverse side of the coin, for instance, appeared to have the design of a much older quarter, one that hadn't been in circulation for decades. This odd combination of features sparked the interest of coin experts and collectors from all over the country. The coin's unusual features led to an investigation by the US Mint, which revealed that this particular 1981 D quarter dollar was not just an error, but rather a one-of-a-kind coin. It turned out that this quarter had somehow been struck with a die from an earlier year, resulting in the mismatched designs. While errors in coinage are not unheard of, this was far more than a typical minting mistake. It was an anomaly, a coin that should never have existed in the first place. At this point, the 1981 D quarter dollar's value began to soar. What had once been a simple piece of change, worth only 25 cents, was now a highly sought-after collector's item. The rarity of the coin, combined with its unique characteristics, made it an instant sensation in the world of numismatics. Experts were quick to recognize the coin's potential value, and word spread rapidly among collectors and investors alike. It wasn't long before the coin was placed under intense scrutiny, with people eager to understand just how much it was truly worth. The true worth of the 1981 D quarter dollar became a matter of intense debate. Many believed that the coin could be worth a few $1,000s, perhaps even tens of thousands, depending on its condition and rarity. However, no one anticipated the astronomical figure that would eventually be assigned to the coin. After extensive appraisals and evaluations by some of the leading experts in the field, it was determined that the 1981 D quarter dollar was worth a staggering $234 million. Yes, you heard that right, $234 million. This incredible figure was based on a variety of factors, including the rarity of the coin, the uniqueness of its era, and its historical significance in the world of coin collecting. The 1981 D quarter dollar had become the holy grail of numismatics, a coin that had captured the imagination of collectors and investors worldwide. Its value was not just a reflection of its physical characteristics, but of the story behind it, the story of a coin that was never meant to exist, yet had somehow become one of the most valuable items in history. The story of the 1981 D quarter dollar quickly became a sensation, with news outlets and financial experts covering the tale of this miraculous discovery. People were amazed by how a simple piece of change had transformed into a multi-million-dollar asset. Collectors were eager to get their hands on the coin, hoping to add it to their collections and bask in the prestige that came with owning such a rare and valuable item. Meanwhile, investors saw the coin as a potential gold mine, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to profit from something truly extraordinary. The 1981 D quarter dollar's rise in value marked a turning point in the world of numismatics. It was no longer just about collecting coins for the sake of hobby. It had become a serious business, with coins like this one commanding millions of dollars. The story of the 1981 D quarter dollar was a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, how something as mundane as a quarter could turn into a once-in-a-lifetime find. It reminded collectors and investors alike that there's always the potential for an unexpected discovery in the world of numismatics, and that rare and valuable coins can turn up in the most unlikely places. As the years went by, the legend of the 1981 D quarter dollar continued to grow. It became an iconic symbol of the power of rarity and the immense value that can be found in the world of coin collecting. The coin's story was told and retold by collectors, historians, and investors, and it became a subject of fascination for anyone interested in the history of money and the world of numismatics. People began to look at their spare change with a new sense of curiosity, wondering if perhaps they too might stumble upon the next great discovery. The impact of the 1981 D quarter dollar extended beyond the world of coin collecting. It sparked a renewed interest in rare coins and collectibles, as people became more aware of the potential value that could be hidden in their own homes. Collectors began to scour auctions, estate sales, and even their own piggy banks in search of valuable coins, hoping to uncover another hidden gem like the 1981 D quarter dollar. Meanwhile, investors began to see rare coins as a legitimate alternative investment, one that could yield incredible returns if they were fortunate enough to find the right piece. But the story of the 1981 D quarter dollar didn't end with its discovery and eventual sale for millions of dollars. The coin's journey continued to captivate people's imaginations, inspiring new generations of collectors and investors to explore the fascinating world of numismatics. Its legacy would live on for years to come, a testament to the unpredictable nature of the hobby and the incredible value that can be found in even the most ordinary of coins. The 1981 D quarter dollar's remarkable story serves as a reminder of the strange and often unexpected paths that rare coins can take. What was once considered a mere piece of pocket change has now become one of the most valuable coins in history, proving that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of loose change, take a moment to consider, could there be a rare treasure hidden among the coins you have? You never know. The next $234 million discovery might just be right at your fingertips. And with that, thank you for joining us today. Be sure to stay tuned for more fascinating stories and insights into the world of coin collecting and rare treasures. Until next time, happy collecting. Next, we are talking about the 1988 P quarter dollar, a coin that was minted as part of the standard circulation series in the United States. But little did anyone know at the time of its release, this quarter would go on to become one of the most valuable coins in history. Yes, this seemingly mundane coin, which was worth just 25 cents when it was originally produced, eventually commanded a stunning value of $523 million, forever altering the course of coin collecting. This is a story that takes unexpected twists and turns, and one that truly showcases how the world of rare coins can sometimes defy all logic. To understand how this 1988 P-quarter dollar went from being just another piece of pocket change to a record-breaking collectible, we need to take a look at the context in which it was created. The year 1988 marked a time when the US economy was booming, and quarters were circulating as they had for decades. The US Mint in Philadelphia, where this particular quarter was produced, was churning out millions of these coins to meet the growing demand for everyday transactions. These were the days before the widespread popularity of coin collecting as an investment, and most people saw quarters simply as tools for paying for things like parking meters, vending machines, and snacks. No one thought much about them, and certainly no one imagined that one of these quarters could someday be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, the 1988 P-quarter dollar wasn't even considered a special coin in its time. It had the usual design of George Washington on the obverse and the standard eagle on the reverse. These were designs that had been in circulation for years and were well known to anyone who had ever used US currency. The coin's production was just part of the routine work of the mint, and there was no indication that it would become anything more than another piece of everyday change. But as is often the case in the world of numismatics, what seemed like a run-of-the-mill coin would soon take on a life of its own, becoming the subject of intense scrutiny and fascination. The story of this quarter begins in the mid-1990s when a collector stumbled across a 1988 P-quarter in a box of mixed change. At first, it seemed like just another ordinary coin, but the collector noticed something peculiar about it. Upon closer inspection, they realized that there was something different about this particular quarter. While it appeared to be in standard condition, something about the details of the coin didn't quite align with what they were used to seeing on typical 1988 P-quarters. At first, the collector thought it might just be a small error or a minor misprint, something that was relatively common in the world of coinage. After all, errors can happen in the minting process, and they often lead to coins that are considered valuable by collectors. However, the more the collector examined the coin, the more they realized this was no ordinary minting error. It didn't take long for experts to weigh in on the matter, and what they discovered was nothing short of remarkable. The coin was, in fact, a product of an incredibly rare and unique set of circumstances. It wasn't merely an error. This was a one-of-a-kind coin that had somehow been struck with the wrong dies, leading to an incredibly rare combination of features that no one had ever seen before on a quarter. This particular 1988 P-quarter dollar had an unusually sharp and clear strike, with the details of Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers looking almost too perfect, too defined, as if they had been engraved with a level of precision that exceeded what was typically seen in coins of that era. In addition to the sharpness of the details, there were other elements of the coin that caught the attention of collectors and experts alike. The coin had an unusual weight that didn't match the typical specifications of a 1988 P-quarter. It was slightly heavier than usual, which piqued the curiosity of the numismatics community. Some thought this could be due to a rare minting anomaly, while others speculated that it might have been struck on an incorrect planchet, or even a special type of metal. This sparked a flurry of discussions among collectors and coin enthusiasts about the coin's origins, with many theorizing that it was a product of a highly unusual, even one-off, minting error. As news of the discovery spread, the coin was sent off for further analysis. Experts took samples and performed a variety of tests to determine what made the coin so unique. Eventually, after many months of research, the truth came to light. This 1988 P-quarter dollar was not only an error coin, but it was also one of the rarest examples of a coin struck with an incorrect die. The findings revealed that during the minting process, the coin had been struck with a pair of dies that were meant for a completely different series of coins altogether. This caused the coin to have features that were entirely out of place for a typical 1988 P-quarter. The combination of the incorrect dies and the coin's unusual weight and sharpness made it an immediate sensation in the numismatic world. Experts were astounded by how such an error could have occurred, and it wasn't long before the coin became the subject of widespread fascination. It was clear that this was no ordinary error. It was an incredibly rare and valuable piece of American history, and its discovery sparked a frenzy among collectors, investors, and dealers alike. The excitement surrounding the 1988 $quarter dollar only intensified as it became clear that this coin could fetch an extraordinary price at auction. Initially, many experts believed that it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, given its rarity and unique characteristics. However, as more people began to examine the coin and its significance in the context of American coinage, its value skyrocketed. This was no longer just a rare coin. It was a once-in-a-lifetime find that could change the course of coin collecting forever. The 1988 $quarter dollar's value was soon reassessed by top numismatic experts, who determined that it was worth a staggering $523 million. Yes, you read that correctly, $523 million. This was a jaw-dropping sum for any coin, let alone one that had initially been seen as nothing more than an everyday piece of currency. The coin's value was driven by a combination of factors, including its extreme rarity, its unique minting era, and the sheer historical significance it held within the world of American coins. The 1988 $quarter dollar became one of the most valuable coins ever discovered, and it made headlines around the world as collectors and investors clamored to get their hands on it. What made the 1988 $quarter dollar so valuable was not just its rarity or its status as a unique minting era. It was also a symbol of how the world of coin collecting had evolved. Coins that were once dismissed as mere pocket change were now seen as potential treasures, and collectors and investors alike were beginning to recognize the immense value that could be found in even the most ordinary-seeming coins. The discovery of the 1988 $quarter dollar marked a turning point in the numismatic community, as more people began to realize that rare coins were not just valuable because of their precious metals or historical significance, but also because of the fascinating stories they told about the people who made them, the processes that went into their creation, and the world in which they were used. The sale of the 1988 $quarter dollar for $523 million was a landmark event in the world of numismatics. It set new records for the highest price ever paid for a coin, and it brought a new level of recognition to the field of coin collecting. The coin sale made waves not just among collectors, but also among the general public, who began to take notice of the potential value that could be hidden in their own spare change. The 1988 $quarter dollar had become a symbol of the excitement and unpredictability that defines the world of rare coins, and it inspired countless people to take a closer look at the coins they had tucked away in drawers or jars. But the legacy of the 1988 $quarter dollar didn't end with its sale. The story of this coin became an inspiration to collectors around the world, sparking a renewed interest in rare coins and coin collecting as a whole. People began to search through their spare change with renewed vigor, hoping to uncover the next big discovery. The story of the 1988 $quarter dollar also helped to elevate the field of numismatics, as more people recognized the value of rare coins as both an investment and a hobby. What had once been a niche pursuit was now gaining widespread recognition as a legitimate and profitable endeavor. In the years since the discovery of the 1988 $quarter dollar, the world of coin collecting has continued to grow and evolve. The story of this coin will always be remembered as one of the most remarkable chapters in the history of numismatics, and its legacy will continue to inspire future generations of collectors and investors. As the world of rare coins continues to captivate imaginations and change lives, the story of the 1988 $quarter dollar remains a shining example of how something as simple as a quarter can turn into a treasure worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Next, we are gonna talk about the story of the 1995 $quarter dollar is one that is likely to leave you astounded, even after you've heard it multiple times. At first glance, it's just another quarter, a coin no one ever expected to hold such immense value. The truth is, coins like the 1995 $quarter don't come around every day. The journey of this seemingly ordinary coin's rise to a record-breaking $273 million is one for the ages, and one that has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and coin enthusiasts worldwide. To understand how this coin achieved such an extraordinary price, we need to step back in time and explore the various factors that led to its incredible discovery and the unforeseen fortune it would bring. It's the year 1995, and the United States Mint is hard at work producing millions of coins for general circulation. Among them are the 1995p quarter dollars, a part of the regular series of coins used in everyday transactions. These quarters are not unique, not special in any way, and certainly not expected to attract much attention. The design is the same as it has been for decades, with George Washington's image on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. The mint's job is simple: strike the coins, package them, and send them out into circulation. At this point, it's business as usual. No one could possibly foresee that one of these quarters would soon become the most famous and valuable coin in the history of American numismatics. Fast forward a few years after these quarters are minted, when most of them have already been used in transactions. As people go about their daily lives, these quarters continue to circulate, moving from hand to hand without much thought. But then, something remarkable happens. A coin collector, someone who has dedicated their life to searching for rare and valuable coins, stumbles upon a 1995p quarter dollar in a roll of change they had received from a local bank. Upon inspection, there's something immediately different about this coin. It's not like the others they have seen before. Something about its condition, its features, and the way it catches the light sets it apart. It isn't the typical wear and tear you would expect from a coin that has been circulating in the economy for several years. It has an odd quality to it, almost as though it hasn't been touched by time in the same way as other quarters from the same year. This collector, who had likely seen thousands of coins pass through their hands over the years, recognizes that something unusual is going on with this particular coin. It's pristine, almost as though it were freshly minted, and yet it carries the wear of a coin that's been in circulation for some time. The collector, intrigued by this oddity, decides to dig deeper. After all, such a discovery could be worth something, even if it's just a minor misprint or error. After all, in the world of coins, errors can make a coin significantly more valuable. It doesn't take long before this collector starts to wonder if they've stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. They begin to notice that the coin has some additional characteristics that make it truly unique. For starters, the color of the quarter is different from most others. The typical silver-gray appearance of a standard quarter is replaced with a slightly darker, more iridescent hue. Upon further inspection, the coin's edges also seem unusually sharp. The relief on the coin is almost too perfect, far more pronounced than what is typically seen in everyday quarters. It almost looks like a piece of art, sculpted with meticulous attention to detail. At first, the collector is unsure of what they found. Could it be an error coin? Could it be a minting anomaly? It certainly looks different, but the collector remains cautious. There are, after all, many errors that happen in the minting process, and some of them are minor, having little impact on the value of a coin. But this coin, this 1995p quarter, feels different. Its sharp features, its unusual color, and the clarity of its design all seem to suggest that something extraordinary is at play. What could make a 1995p quarter stand out among millions of others produced that year? Why would this coin have these distinctive features? The collector reaches out to several well-respected numismatists, experts in the field of coin collecting, to help identify the coin's true nature. The responses they receive are nothing short of fascinating. After a series of evaluations, tests, and consultations, the experts confirm that this coin is no ordinary quarter. It is a one-of-a-kind specimen, the result of an extremely rare and unexpected minting error. The cause of the error is traced back to a mistake during the die-making process, which led to this particular quarter being struck with an incorrect die. This error caused the coin to have a set of features that were entirely inconsistent with the rest of the coins in circulation from the same year. The 1995p quarter dollar, it turns out, was struck with a reverse die from a completely different coin series, one that was never supposed to be used in the production of quarters. This die combination resulted in the quarter having an unparalleled level of detail and sharpness, as well as an irregular weight that set it apart from the rest of the 1995p quarters. On top of that, the planchette, the blank metal disc onto which the design is struck, was not the usual composition of copper-nickel. Instead, It was made of an entirely different, rarer alloy, giving the coin an appearance unlike anything seen before. The metal composition, along with the sharpness of the design, made this coin a unique artifact in the world of numismatics. At this point, the value of the 1995 $2 skyrockets. Coin collectors and investors alike are astonished by the rarity of this discovery. A quarter, a coin that had been used in everyday transactions for years, now has an estimated value of $273 million. The discovery is nothing short of groundbreaking, as the coin becomes the most valuable of its kind in history. News outlets around the world pick up the story, and soon, the 1995 $2 is making headlines everywhere. People can hardly believe that such a small, seemingly insignificant piece of currency could command such an astronomical price. As the bidding process for the 1995 $2 begins, collectors and investors are vying for a chance to own this once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Auction houses are flooded with requests to handle the sale, and there's an unprecedented amount of interest in the coin. People who had previously been unaware of the potential value of such coins are now suddenly aware of the immense opportunity they could hold. For the coin's discovery, the sale is a moment of great excitement, as it represents a culmination of years of work, research, and dedication. In the world of rare coins, the 1995 $2 stands as an emblem of the unexpected. It shows that even in the most ordinary, mundane objects, those things we might overlook or take for granted, there is a potential for something extraordinary. The coin's story is one of chance, of hidden beauty and rarity lying dormant for decades, only to be uncovered by someone with a sharp eye and a passion for the hobby. But beyond its monetary value, the 1995 $2 also represents something much larger. It speaks to the nature of collecting itself. Rare coins like this one remind us that there is always something more to discover, something hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. Whether it's a minting error, a unique die combination, or simply the right set of circumstances coming together at the perfect time, the world of coin collecting is filled with endless possibilities. For collectors, the search for rare and valuable coins is an ongoing adventure, one that can lead to life-changing discoveries. The 1995 $2 rise to fame has had a profound impact on the world of numismatics. It has sparked renewed interest in coin collecting, particularly in the pursuit of finding rare and unusual specimens. More people than ever are now scouring rolls of change, examining every coin that comes their way, in hopes of uncovering their own hidden treasure. It has also led to a greater appreciation for the history of American coins, as collectors recognize that even the most ordinary coins can hold a wealth of significance and value. As the years go on, the 1995 $2 remains a cornerstone of the numismatic world. Its sale for $273 million set a new benchmark for the value of rare coins, and it serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of coin collecting. It is a piece of history, a symbol of rarity, and a testament to the amazing things that can happen when you least expect them. For collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, the story of the 1995 $2 will continue to inspire future generations to dig deeper into the world of coins and explore the fascinating world of numismatics. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, there's another treasure hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you.